Okay, well, this is my second attempt to just make a video strictly on just my thoughts and not really gonna edit. I thought it was really fun, like a really fun activity to do the original stripped down challenge where you just talk and don't edit anything. Like, because I'm not used to doing any like YouTube videos, like real ones. Like, I think it's easier for me to do a type of video like this where I just talk because I'm not used to anything else. When other YouTubers who are like used to editing and stuff might think of it more as a challenge. But like here I was like just a little bit ago like trying to figure out what to say and I couldn't get my words out. It's because I'm like a very creative person and like I used to love to write a lot. Like I do poetry and I do like just all these different just random thoughts. I just write them down and as I'm writing I come up with what I want to write. So to script something out, like it just doesn't seem natural to me. So here I am again. I'm gonna try this again. It's 12:20 right now, so we'll see how long this video goes for. But so I was thinking of like doing a video like on just like life in general, not basically not too much about me because like I want people to relate in a way, but not just focus on me because you guys don't really know me too well. But so I don't know, life. Basically, like I think it's funny cuz I'm actually doing this video right now because I'm procrastinating. Like I just I have to do so much planning for work and it's like when you really think about it, like we're just like robots, like humans. We're robots, like waking up by an alarm clock every day, programmed to do something that we really don't want to do. Well, unless you're in a job that you have a passion for, which I do. I love working with kids, that's what I do. But I love it, but I think like there's a time where you need to balance work and fun and like life because it's just people are getting so overworked that they just don't live life. Like if you think about it, you're going to work to make money, right? You're going to work to make money, to get a house, get a car. Basically, we're working for paper. Our whole life is based on paper, which in reality, nowadays, the US dollar isn't really worth as much. Like, monopoly money and US money is the same. It's just we give more value to the US dollar, which we really have nothing to back it up. But it somehow works. I mean, we're in a lot of debt, but we're still like going on. Like it's just really weird how our whole life is based on working for a piece of paper. Our financial struggles are we like get in fights with our loved ones over money, paper. Like we get depressed and like can't sleep over paper. Like it's kind of sad. Like I watched this show called Alaskan Bush People and basically they are people who live in Alaska who decided to live in the bush. I mean, the title goes, but they decided to live in the bush. They don't really have they don't pay taxes really because they don't really make money. They survive off the land, which is what we were doing in the first place before we got the luxuries of, it's kind of weird to see that they don't even know what TV is. Like, they don't know, like, Kim Kardashian. They don't, like, this, like, it's kind of weird how we value pop culture so much, and they don't even know how to, like, say, I don't know, cool, LL Cool, like, they say, like, they went to a store and they couldn't figure out the names of some people, and in reality, like, we base a lot of our, like, a lot of life nowadays is about pop culture, and I don't know, it's just weird. Like, we're so plugged in, our whole lives are basically our phone. Like, I've been more addicted to my phone lately than I've ever been before, and that's kind of scaring me because I take notice, because I was just with my friend the other day. We were getting some, like, tea and, like, just having a girls' day, and we were waiting for our food, and basically the conversation went to a halt, and I automatically just went to my phone, and I noticed that, like, I never did that before. Like, before this year, before I got the smartphone, I had a Windows phone before this one. I mean, it was like a brick. Didn't have all the apps, but then I got really into Instagram and really into Snapchat, and so, like, you always want to see what somebody else is doing, but when you're doing something that, like, you're doing something out with somebody right now, but it's like you have to see what everybody else is doing instead of enjoying what, like, at a concert too. Like, you're at a concert and you have your phone out and you're just, like, recording the concert instead of paying attention and actually being in the moment. Like, that's one of my things. I want to be in the moment. Like, I'm trying to really, like, just take it all in, what I'm experiencing at the time. Like, I get, like, my nephew, I watch my nephew, he's only 2 years old right now, and he, like, gets so excited over the littlest things. Like, he will watch a cricket for, like, 20 minutes and go catch it, and want to go catch it, and have, like, the excited, he'd be all excited over seeing a cricket. Like, we gotta get excited about the little moments. Like, we as a society, we're getting so used to our attention spans are, like, going down because we're so, like, used to things snapping, like, right there. Like, we see an image, we see that image, we see that image. We're so hyped. Our graphics need to be upped. Like, our what's the word? Our let's see. Well, we expect more, basically, because of our technology. We expect more, and so we gotta remember that there's little things that we need to sometimes just put down our phone. Like, back to when I was having some tea, like, with my friend, I put down my phone and I started engaging in a conversation with her, like, asking her questions, and, like, you want to be with someone who, like, you don't have to pick up your phone. You want to be, like, you want to try to, like, think of just different things. Like, there is a thing called conversation. Like, it's not out the window. It's still going on. We just have to get creative. I mean, anything's interesting. Like, that's what I was doing with this video. I was like, what am I going to talk about? And now I'm, like, have so much, kind of so much ideas, but I guess more is going to pop in my head because that's what it's going to be like. That's how I am. I kind of, like, write down stuff, and as I'm writing, more and more things pop in my head. So that's what I was seeing as people were doing, like, this challenge where you just talk to the camera and not have any edits. They start out slow, but when they start to pick up and they get a passion for something, they want to go over that time limit. Like, almost all the challenges that I saw, what do you call it? That, like, when you don't edit, like, all of them were, like, scared at first, and then they started getting really passionate. And that's, like, something I really love, is when someone's so passionate about something that they just, you see it in their eyes. Like, you just see it as they just want to talk it out. And then I think that's another thing. Body language is 60% of, like, how we communicate. Basically, that's over half. Like, if you go up to someone and you are intensely, like, just staring in their eyes and listening to what they're actually saying instead of being passive and staring at your cell phone while they're talking, oh my gosh. Like, that is so much more better. That, like, I kind of feel bad because I am guilty of it too. Like, lately, like, my mom will be talking or something and I'll be on my cell phone. I'm only hearing half of what she's saying because I'm on my cell phone. But, so yeah, back to body language. Like, when you go up to someone, like, it's like, figure out, like, it's kind of, I have a book that my friend just got me. Like, it was like how to talk to people, and basically it seems like I used to be a kind of a shy person around people. I mean, now I'm getting more into a social butterfly issue. Like, I want to be more social. That's like a struggle I've always dealt with. But anyways, they said that if you're looking down and not engaged in a conversation with everybody else, they're less likely to add you in the conversation. I mean, it's not like they don't notice that you're there, which is something that I always, like, if my friends were in a group at, like, lunchtime or something and my friends were talking, I would just actively listen to every conversation around the circle. And it felt like I was a part of the conversation because I was actively listening, but I wasn't giving my what do you call it? My input. So it's like they kind of didn't see me. So you kind of have to engage with people. I mean, you can't either, like, cross your arms too. I mean, that's like a socially, like, isn't it weird how, like, if someone crosses their arms, like, it seems like they're bitchy even though they're not. It's kind of a comfortable pose. But it's like it's society. Like, I really, like I said, it's society. I'm, like, really into sociology and society and how we behave. Like, it's weird how it's kind of sad that we're all judgmental people. Some are more judgmental than others, but I mean, we're all innately judgmental because, I mean, we've seen it in our films, our culture, our pop culture, like, for years. That, like, we see, like, people with tattoos and, bald heads, are thugs. Like, it's just in tune in our brain. Our brain is wired that's like, stay off. But I've seen this quote where it said, like, there's people who have tattoos and they're like, maybe they're not even a biker. We consider that, like, we say, oh, they're a biker, like, oh, they're tough, we gotta stay away, they're in a mafia, like, some sort of, like, Hell's Angels type. Like, it's not. Like, I saw this quote where, it said, some of the most judgmental people are the ones you sit next to in church. Like, it's kind of sad to say that some people who are so religious are the judgmental ones. Like, you have to take it down a notch and know that you're not the one to judge, God is. And so you can't say, oh, you're not doing it this way, so you're, let's say, going to hell. Or, I don't want to get into that because it's kind of controversial, but like I was saying, though, people with tattoos, they're not, they're not dangerous. They're probably some are more accepting than, I mean, they're just you and me. I mean, it's just ink. Like, everybody's getting tattoos nowadays. It's like a artwork. It's like, it's not a rebellion thing. It's like people want to, people just want to be artistic. And I like that about society right now. It's just everybody's in their own realm trying to be artistic. But then also everybody's trying to conform into one thing too. They kind of want to be like that person. And I love individuality. So it's like, be yourself, be you. We're born original. Don't die a copy. Don't copy everybody else. Do something. I mean, everybody has their own talent and strengths. Figure out what yours is and, like, share it with the world and be happy that you're you. So I just like going with society and, like, what we think and, like, how we think and why we care about what others think. Like, there's this social experiment that was done that I learned in sociology back when I was taking it, where our opinions, like, even though we have a strong opinion of ourselves. Like, we have a strong opinion. Let's say we have a strong opinion, okay? I have a strong opinion about something. But then I go sit with a group of people, and my opinion can be swayed just by their opinions. And I might think I'm an outsider because I don't think like them. But, like, am I any more wrong because the majority thinks that's true, but I don't? Like, you're not any more wrong. So don't feel like you have to change what you feel in order to go with the majority. Like, back to the social experiment. There was 3 lines. Line A, line B, line C. I should have got, like, a whiteboard to show this. But, okay, so line A is short. Line B is shorter. Line C is clearly the longest. So, the teacher in front, who has the lines on the board, asks, well, what line is the longest? And for sure, they're like, oh, line C, it's the longest. You know it's line C. But everybody else was like, raising their hand and saying, line A, line A, line A. And soon half the room was line A, and you were next. And you knew it was line C that was the longest, but everybody else was saying line A. Was there something wrong with your thinking? Was there something wrong with your eyes? Why was everybody saying line A when you clearly see with your own eyes that line C is longer? And so when it gets to their turn, they raise their hand and they say line A, just like everyone else, just to be accepted and not look like an outsider and not look stupid. It's kind of sad, like, back in school, like, kids are afraid to ask questions because when the majority of the class understands something and you don't, and you would want to raise your hand but you don't want to look stupid, you don't, and so then that night you don't know how to do your homework, and sometimes that's how kids get into that failure mode. So that's, like, weird sociology. Also, another one I learned back in ECE, early childhood education is kind of what I've been studying. That's what I do. I work with kids, young kids. They put a dot on the board, and they asked kids, like, ages 5 and 6, what's the dot? Wait, they just put a dot on the board. They say, what do you see? Everybody, raised their hand. They said, well, all the kids raised their hand. They'd be like, oh, a ladybug. The next one raises their hand. Oh, a butterfly, but really scrunched up. Another one raises their hand, and they say all these different authentic, creative answers that each of them all see a different thing, and they don't care. They don't care if their answer is different than the other person's. But then they went to a high school classroom, which is peer pressure galore. Everybody wants to be the same. Everybody doesn't want to be different. Everybody doesn't want to be outsed. They put a dot on the board, and slowly everybody was like, what do you see? A black dot, a black dot, a black dot. No creativity. Nobody wanted to be wrong. This goes with society, and nowadays, like, nobody wants to seem wrong. Nobody wants to be that person that, like, who's to say what's right and wrong? Like, no one wants to be that person who says something but looks different saying it. So if you have a stance, be passionate about it and say your stance. Like, my biggest thing, though, is I don't think you should criticize. You should give the research on why you believe it. Like, that's what I said in my last video, why you believe it. Otherwise, it's just your opinion and you're just being closed-minded if you don't give the research and knowledge to actually share with everybody why you think that way. No one's going to believe you or give you a chance to see your way if you don't give the correct knowledge and why. Like, that's why open-mindedness is pretty important when dealing with other people, because I don't know, we're just, like, we don't want to see, we want to, I don't know. When you're open-minded, you can gain a lot more respect and sway other people's your way. Like, not just sway them your way, that sounds bad. But, like, like me, like I said, I take on one person's opinion, another person's opinion, another person's opinion, put them together in my own opinion, and figure out why I think that way, why they think that way. I never have one set rule that I never change of mine. I always kind of just keep everybody's opinions opened, and then I see their research, and then I can, give off my own. So yeah, I've been talking for about 19 minutes already. I didn't get into a whole bunch of other stuff I wanted to get into, but I guess I'll call that a quit for this video. Maybe I'll do it more often. But so if you enjoyed, please leave a comment, and maybe I can extend onto a discussion later on what I could just give your opinion, or maybe ask me a question and maybe I could do another video on it. So we'll see if this keeps going, but I don't know. I just, like I was saying, I was procrastinating and I didn't want it to do what I was supposed to be doing. So I kind of just made a short video, because we all need to have balance in our life. Anyway, so give this a like if you liked it, comment, and maybe I'll start for sure a new, because it's the dance channel that I have it on. I might start a new, I'm going to put it in a new section, but I might start a new YouTube channel just with thoughts. But I don't know. But I like doing this one. So if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them. And thanks. Glad you watched. Bye.